Alrighty, guys, the fallout continues from the Microsoft Activision deal. Sony stock value loses $20 billion, but will likely recover, the biggest drop since 2008. So the fallout continues from the big buyout, the $68 billion buyout. Sony shares have fallen 13%. Which equals to roughly $20 billion since Microsoft announces its plan to acquire Call of Duty publisher Activision for $68 billion. The sharp drop in market value represents Sony's biggest loss since October 2008, removing $20 billion from the company's value in just one day. However, stock value is expected to recover in due course. Of course, this is simply how the stock market reacts to major news. It's always been and always likely will be that way. Interesting, Microsoft's stock value also took a hit yesterday. It is after all expected to happen since they spent $69 billion, basically, is what they're saying. So you spend $69 billion or $68, however you want to look at it. And, people are going to be like, well, they spent a lot of money. So, Microsoft has the money to spend. Microsoft bought Activision. And here's part of the reason why, because Microsoft bought Activision at $95 per share, which when totaled to $68 billion means the company paid around 45 cents more above Activision's stock price prior to the announcement. So there you have it. There was positive news for other publishers. However, shares at Square Enix, Capcom, and Konami all rose by 5%, while Ubisoft went up 11%. Perhaps shareholders see the company's next potential targets for a takeover. The deal is expected to close at some point next year, but we believe it already spells bad news. Of course, this is their thing here. Their spells bad news, but it does spell bad news for Sony. And what I find most interesting about this article, what's going to stop Microsoft from buying Square Enix? What's going to stop Microsoft from buying Capcom, Konami? What can stop them, people? They have the money. I think they have over $400 billion. Is their net worth? That's what they're worth. I don't know how much money they have to spend, but they're worth $430 billion. The company is, and Sony's like $130 billion or less than that. Maybe it's a little over $100 billion. So it makes you wonder. Is Sony going to be buying Final Fantasy? Are they going to be getting Konami? Maybe they go after Sega and get Sonic. Even though, Nintendo and Sega have a good, rapport, what's going to stop Microsoft from buying somebody else? Who's next? That's what I ask. It's probably going to be a few months or maybe 6 months, but don't be surprised if you see more, because right now Sony's it feels like Sony's being pushed out, and Nintendo, it doesn't really matter because Nintendo has all they care about is their Marios, their Zeldas, and all that. I mean, Nintendo, they make a fortune. They got their own little thing going. It pretty much can't be stopped. Sony depended a lot on Call of Duty. Transactions and things like that made a big difference. And even though, of course, Call of Duty is not what it was once before, it's still a major player. So this is going to be interesting to see how it goes from here. And we have mixed reactions, of course. Some people excited about it. Some people not excited about it. I'm not too excited about it myself because I don't play Call of Duty anyway. I don't play it anyway, so I was like, it doesn't bother me. I've probably played one Call of Duty since it came out. I did it on my channel for a walkthrough, but I'm not a big Call of Duty person. I don't play them a lot, and I don't know, people. I know pretty much Call of Duty is a game for the casual market, and that is where all the money's at, is the casual market. Like with their Candy Crush game that Activision has, they make a fortune off of that. It might be worth more than the Call of Duty game, realistically, as I said in my last video. But we'll see, people. They may buy somebody else. Just imagine if they get the rights to Final Fantasy. They can make the Final Fantasy game. This is all, and I was also thinking about this, they keep buying all these games. Game Pass is going to have to go up in price. I mean, it's just a matter of time. But Sony definitely has catch up. They can't really play catch up because I don't see how they can catch them to play catch up. They don't have the money to spend to buy other people. They don't have the money to do it. So we'll see how it goes from here. But this is not going to affect Sony, of course, right now. This is down the road. A year or two, maybe a little bit longer down the line, we'll see how it affects Sony. But this is going to play out. The video game wars are going on now, and pretty much the only company sitting back and having a good time is Nintendo, because they're in their own world, people. As I've said in my other videos, I'll show you right quick. Nintendo is in their own world, people. A lot of people don't like to recognize the Switch, but look at this. I'll show you. I mean, look, we got 426,000 right now sold. When you combine 426 and 220, when you combine 220 for the PlayStation 5 and 151 for the Xbox, the Switch still dominates. I mean, look at the sales. 102 million. I know the Switch has been out longer, but even though it's been out longer, it still doubles up both of these other systems. It sells more than double what they sell. So Nintendo, basically, they are the number one game publisher, whether people want to admit it or not. They're the number one system in all this. And Sony and Microsoft is just fighting for third place, basically. But we'll see how it goes from here, people. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Let me know how you feel about it. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. And as always, and thanks so much for listening. We'll see you later. Toodles!